of her mind that she no longer was the same, that she was about to lose consciousness, a consciousness acquired through centuries of bearable like calamities, so as though a desperate defense of our own psychological being and resources. All her memories confusedly returned. Her great men and great books came back pell-mell and in the same disorder of mind as a summons of the same anguish. All cultivated Europe underwent the rapid revival of innumerable ways of thoughts illuminating with the strong and extraordinary glow the death agony of the European soul. She sought refuge, guidance, consolation through the whole register of her memories, past acts and ancestral attitudes, such as no defense of anxiety. So Europe was under anxiety at the time, and he was describing Europe tottering under the impact of anxiety. And what was Valerie really driving at? It was saying that how can you retrieve? You know that you're all familiar with obsession with memory and remembering things by Proust, Eliot. Even you have a book called Waiting for Godot, where there's a crisis of memory, you see, and the memories are the small spots of light in our psyche that can connect us with the past and the tradition. So Beckett was also a kind of related paleologist, paleomodernism. So he was talking about this, that the mind of man, how to get back. And later on, you see, he described this process in 1999 at the close of the First World War. This process, as Valerie describes it, begins with anxiety, with the present and the direction the present is headed, that is the future. So, on this, he was talking about this. There is a explicit dissatisfaction with the unstable present, which has less and less meaning and connection with authentic selfhood or authentic memories. Valerie calls this the disorder of the mind. And at this time, when you think of this, Freud was also working on the structure of the mind. They were all working on the same. And you must remember that at this time, this coincided with the birth of death psychology. The death psychology, which really said that most of our life is subliminal. We can never know much of ourselves from our social behavior. So the test case was Hitler. Hitler was a man who could sing, who could listen to music, who had a lover sort, you see. But this man was a killer. He was given to this homicide, these kind of schizophrenia in him, the sick mind, that during the daytime you would kill, during the night you would listen to Beethoven, Bach and Mozart. Very strange thing happened to him. How can you explain for that? How can you account for that? So, and Freud came with psychoanalysis inspired by Nietzsche. Because Nietzsche said that we have to come through this. And I just would like to tell you a line from T.S. I'm not really, my notes are not very well organized because I'm working on this, and he said, the way, this is that, Eliot said in short quarter, the way up is way down. The way forward is way back. Which means that if one to go forward, you must analyze your past. So what's the problem now? The problem is that the past is missing. How can you analyze yourself? So the connection has to be made between the present and the past. That is the only way of your hope of survival. And that's why Eliot's writing, you see, Pound's writing, is really informed by deep anxiety to connect themselves with the past. And that is the struggle in the writing. And Eliot resorted to rituals, legends, myths, and that's why he had to find these sources of the past, he had to delve deep into the past to to retrieve these things, to find these things, but to his great there is no resources for him, all are in ruins and rubbish, they're rubble, see, and he had to go about, he had to find, he had to take a walk across civilization to really pick out things that can put together. That is one of the reasons that why Neolithic art, why Poundian art is really an art of collage, you see, that you have the reconstruction, the art of reconstruction, not the real art. And that's why they're always sick inside, because their sickness can only be corrected, can be treated if you can really go back to your original sources. What Carl Jung said, imagos, you can get your imagos back, the original images that you have lost. And this is one point to be taken very seriously, because for Eliot is always, and I remember this, I always really quote this line from this epigraph to Howard Zen, that where it said that only connects, you see, the thing. And one voice in the Westland says that I can connect nothing with nothing. So the connection, to make connection, what kind of connection? Meaningful connection. So I will just, the important thing about this is that you must, the only way you cannot really, as I tell you here, that this process, as Valery describes it, begins with anxiety with the present and direction. The present is headed, that is the future. There is the explicit dissatisfaction with unstable present, which has less and less meaning and connection with authentic selfhood or authentic memory. You can now understand what I'm really driving at. And the connection with authentic selfhood and authentic memories. And Valery calls, because there is also a question. There's always a question. The memories in Eliot, the external reality for him, is to mind. And Eliot said, culture is human nature. Look at it. Culture is human nature. You come from inside to outside. It's not really something that is outside there. So for Eliot, you will see that his mental reality is stronger, is more concrete than the reality outside. That's why all his reality that he portrays in the Westland, in Purford, in the poetry of Red, are all nebulous, or like foggy, misty. They're always turning and twisting. They cannot really form its shape, and or they're taking many shapes in front of his eyes. So we can see that there's nothing with the reflection. That for him, outer reality is nebulous and illusional. So this is the point to be made with Eliot, and that's why they are. And I would like to tell you something about that. That's why paleomodernists always try to escape from this outer world, and they go inside. And I'm sure that this difference you can very well suspect that the Cartesian dichotomy is what here. Cartesian dichotomy, that you cannot really make any connection between your body and mind. There's problems there. And in Beckett's writing in his written book, we have the same problem, that these two hobos cannot really connect their mind and body. So one has a body and one has a mind. So they have to be together, you see, to keep their life going. So this is the point about T.S. Eliot. And he said, Valery calls this disorder of the mind much as Freud does. The disorder of mind mandates self-analysis. Remember what I have said. Mandates, it requires self-analysis, rigorous self-analysis, which at this time Freud was performing. Evaluations of patterns formed by the memory can be retrieved and authenticated, because your right retrieval of memory, remember this, you may have other memories, they are not true, they are not right, they are false, or they are just of two types, as Bruce said, that we have two types of memory. One type of memory is that we can use it every day, we connect data, see, one with the other, and thereby we are really carrying on with our daily business of life. That's the kind of memory, that the digits and your calculations, that you can see that as you go from here to there. So you are coordinating this one kind of memory. But there is another deeper kind of memory. What is the deeper kind of memory? That rises at the